Well, my name's CJ Pearson. I'm the Executive Director of Young Georgians in Government. Young Georgians in Government is an organization that promotes getting young people involved in the political process and also supporting young candidates who decide to run for office and also advocating for a lower minimum age requirement to run for office. We believe that young people need to have a more active role in their government and also need to take a bigger voice in their government. We also extremely believe that young people are more than capable of representing the people across Georgia and around Georgia to make sure that their views are also heard. And that's why we advocate for a lower minimum age requirement, because we believe that young people are faced with the same issues that older people are faced with. We're faced with education standards that don't work. We're faced with problems that aren't looked at because they think they're not a problem, but they really are a problem. And I think young people are in a very extremely good position to take control of our government, to take back our government, because we are going to be faced with the issues that the politicians that make today, they really seem to not care, but we need to care. We need to move forward, and we need to take a more active voice, and we need to take a more active role. And the only way we're going to do that is by voting, by talking to our elected officials, and making a difference. And that is the big purpose of Young Georgians in Government, to make a difference for young people all across the state of Georgia. Well, definitely, and the states are in a very big position. Most of the powers that aren't left to the federal government are given to the states. So therefore, I wouldn't say it's more important to be involved in the local government or the state government. I would say it's equally important as the federal government. You should get just as excited, you should get just as stoked when someone announces their candidacy for governor, and as when they would announce their candidacy for president. It's basically, they have the same intentions. The state legislature stands for the laws that are really going to affect you. Local meetings, the taxes, property taxes, water taxes, all those big taxes that really are going to hit you hard locally are decisions from your local city council. And those are the decisions that you're going to really, need to take notice of and need to write your legislators about, talk to them about it, and voice your opinion. And what I've seen is that people just really aren't excited about politics anymore. You need to get excited. You need to get stoked. There are many candidates that are very, very charismatic. Rand Paul, for example, he really has a message that, resonates with young people across the country. Barack Obama, I believe, he could have been this is just my opinion, but he could have been a great president, of course, but I believe, he caved in from his promises. He wanted change, but we got change, but we got negative change. We increased debt. We're at $18 trillion now. That's more than $6 trillion more than 6 years ago. That's outrageous. And at the end of his term, people are expecting to have a $20 trillion debt, and that's not really what anyone wants, and that's not what we need. And that's just a dysfunction that people are really want to get rid of, and young people can be the people that get rid of that dysfunction.
Just briefly talk about how long you've been following politics personally, what got you interested, that sort of thing.
Well, I started, a little bit in 2010 working with John Stone, but as far as now, in these midterm elections, I got more involved than ever. I worked with Rick Allen. Rick Allen, he was a great inspiration for me just working on his campaign. I learned a lot of things from a lot of people, from, different parties, meeting people, everyday people across the district, across the Augusta area, who are faced with real issues. Real issues, they want answers, they want solutions, and they want to end the Washington dysfunction. And that's, I think, the biggest attribute while Rick got elected. They wanted to end the Washington dysfunction. They wanted to get rid of the status quo. And I worked on David Perdue's campaign. He ran as the outsider. He ran as an independent who will stand up to both sides of the issues. And that's what people want. They want someone who won't cave in to one side, but then won't listen to the other. They want someone who will fight both sides for the greater good. And I think, that is one of the biggest things that's changing in politics. People are they're not running away from their parties, but they're running away from the obstructionism that has plagued their parties. They want to be someone who borrows solutions, who brings solutions to the tables, and that's something we haven't seen in Washington.
Working with those campaigns, did that inspire you to run yourself someday?
Definitely did. I really do want to run one day. I want to run. I really have plans, to run for state house. I really want to take advantage of this legislation once it passes. To maybe run in state legislature, possibly run for Congress, or even the governor. And I think these inspirations, these people I've met have been huge inspirations. Governor Deal, I've had the pleasure of meeting him, and he was a huge inspiration for me. Just the values he stands for and his stances on the issues. And I believe that no matter how old you are, no matter what you believe, you can always make a difference, no matter what. And that's one of the biggest things about politics. Age doesn't matter. What matters is the beliefs that you have, the ideas that you have, and the people that you communicate those ideas with, and how you communicate those ideas.